Airpeace is about to extend its already impressive profile in bailing out Nigerian citizens when the chips are down. It's not been long since the airline committed enormous resources to evacuating Nigerians from a number of troubled spots here in Africa and beyond. Last Wednesday, the chairman and chief executive officer of Airpeace, Dr. Onyema, met with travel agents here in Lagos to intimate them of plans to offer Nigerians studying in the United Kingdom special fares as his organization commences Lagos to London flights from March 30th, 2024. Dr. Onyema, a lawyer, chairman and CEO of Airpeace, joins us now to elaborate on those plans as well as share his thoughts on the present state of Nigeria's aviation sector. Well, good morning, sir. Welcome to the morning show.
Good morning.
Well, thank you very much.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us on the morning show. Well, at last, London is about to happen. When is the D-Day? I know we said March 30th. And why has it taken so long to come? In the past, you were quoted as saying that it would be London Heathrow or nothing. But now you're going to London Gatwick. What happened?
I said so in the past. I said it was either London Heathrow or nothing. Because the BASA we signed with the UK is this. You give me your primary airports, I give you our own primary airports. British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, both of them come into my country using our primary airports, Lagos and Abuja. When we applied, they told us Heathrow was not available to us. And they were even suggesting Stansted or Luton. And I found that very insulting. They also suggested Gatwick. I refused. I wanted to go to Heathrow, which is their primary airport. And after some time, I saw that they were trying to frustrate us. I said, okay. And Nigerians were groaning under the weight of high fares. I said, okay, what we'll do is to let us go anywhere, even if they want us to go to Scotland. They just start. So we decided to take Gatwick. Gatwick was not really our choice. But in the long run, we decided to see some goods, going to Gatwick. Most of our people live, down southeast part of London. And at the same time, when you look at the traffic situation from Heathrow into central London, it's very excruciating. But from Gatwick, they allotted the south terminal to Airpeace. And when you get to the south terminal, you get out of immigration, take your luggage, you walk into the Gatwick Express train within 3 minutes. And that will take you to Victoria, right into central London. So from the south terminal, you have access to tube, you have access to national rail, you have access to the road transport to other parts of the UK. So Gatwick has turned out to even be better at the end of the day for us. That is why we took that Gatwick.
That's a good one, Dr. Onyema, and congratulations. At this time, I'm sure that many Nigerians will be pleased to know that there will be a local, a Nigerian carrier traveling to London directly. But tell us more about the details of this Gatwick project where you'll be landing. How many days a week will you be flying to London? What time of the day were you allotted, or time of the night, leaving Lagos and landing in London? And more importantly, what will Airpeace do differently this time around, given that Lagos-London for Nigerian flights are not totally new? We know what happened to Air Nigeria of old. It used to be Gatwick too. We know what happened to Arik, to Bellevue, to Medville. Have you learned lessons about why they couldn't sustain that route? And what will you do differently?
First of all, let me talk about Gatwick. Like I said earlier, the traffic out of Gatwick into central London is better than going through Heathrow. of course, our schedule, remember, when we now chose Gatwick, the first thing they told us that there were no slots in Gatwick. The same Gatwick they suggested to us. They told us that there were no slots. It's international aeropolitics. They want to protect their own. And we were to start operations actually in December, on December 22nd, but they frustrated us, made sure we didn't start last year. We wanted to start in January, we were frustrated. They were giving up slots that you cannot even understand. Today they give you, it was ad hoc slots. You travel today, on Monday, maybe 2 p.m., Tuesday, 1 a.m., Wednesday, 10 o'clock in the morning. I've never seen anything like that. It was laughable, at the same time very annoying, but we trudged on, and at the time, we had to invite the Minister of Aviation into it, and luckily, he too traveled to London with us, and the NCAA DG, to let them know that Nigeria would retaliate if they continue doing this. And I have to thank Festus Keyamo for doing that. So we went there, then they changed a little bit, and now gave us 12:30 a.m. in the morning for departure out of Nigeria. We wanted to depart even if it's a minute before midnight, but they refused. When you are given 12:30 a.m., it's very confusing at times. So somebody who wants to travel on a Friday after work, when he gets to the website, he sees 12:30 a.m. Oh, he will say, oh, Airpeace flight on Friday is early hours in the morning. I just wanted to do my job at the end of the day before going to London. But Airpeace is going 12:30 a.m. The truth is, it's equally good. If you want to travel on a Friday, you don't need to travel 12:30 a.m. You travel on Saturday, the same 12:30 a.m. It means you leave your house the same Friday night, around maybe 11 o'clock in the night, you go to the airport on Friday to check in. You will still arrive London the same Saturday morning like someone who left on Friday, before midnight. You're leaving after midnight, 30 minutes after midnight. All these things are intended to confuse, but we're going to educate Nigerians about it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, one and the same thing. So, and about frequencies, is daily flights. We are going to do daily flights into London. Besides our 3 777s, we are bringing in 3 Dreamliners, brand new Dreamliners, to join the fray. We are going to do something different, exceptionally different. The competition is going to be massive and explosive. Nigerians will see something they've never seen before. Because if you are not prepared for this kind of fray, you get yourself burnt. They're waiting for us. We know they're waiting for us. We are going to give them the best. They came here, they audited Airpeace. What they saw, they couldn't believe it. They thought we couldn't pass the TCO, but we passed it because our safety standards in Airpeace is of universal acclaim. Airpeace has gotten IOSA right from the second year of operation unheard of. And we've maintained that IOSA certification. We've gotten it 6 other times. So when they came here to audit us, what they thought they could see to make them reject us, they didn't see it. They went back and issued that TCO approval. The same way we are prepared, the capacity is there to give Nigerians a massive difference. And of course, the penchant for Nigerians to always everything foreign. You see some people, oh, how did you go to Dubai? Oh, I flew. They start mentioning Emirates, they start mentioning. The fact is that the same aircraft, the same 777 Emirates uses is what Airpeace uses. But over time, in this country, we tend to embrace everything foreign. If they see foreign water, better. Even if that water was recycled from, the septic tanks. So, but this time around, it's hitting everybody hard. We are here to provide a difference, make it affordable for people, make it seamless with respect. Respect. It's going to be a different ballgame. Like you asked, what are we going to do differently? It starts with the equipment we are going to use. It starts with the capacity we want to bring into the market, the ambience, everything you can think of. We have them. So it's left for Nigerians now to patronize their own. And I'm really pleased with the Nigerian travel, the agents, the Nigerian traveling agencies, their union. They came up with a slogan, Airpeace, our own. Some even printed T-shirts, save the Naira, fly Airpeace. Because if you know the amount of money this country is losing, my country is bleeding through the foreign airlines, massively bleeding. And they tell you, oh, their funds are trapped. Your funds are trapped, and you're still increasing your frequencies into the same country that your funds are trapped. Who is fooling who? So it's only when we try to embrace our own that we can save this country. Everybody is saying, Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. The problem of the country is not President Tinubu, it's you and me, it's all of us. It can't leave everything for the government to do. Every citizenry, the citizenry must play their part. We are going through a very turbulent period, and it's not something you leave for the government, and everybody cries every day, the government. What are you doing on your own part? You have to play your own part. You have to play your own part. If you go out there to hot dollars, and you blame it on Tinubu, you go out there to connive with those that sell money to make things difficult, you blame Tinubu. If you go out there to patronize only everything foreign, you blame Tinubu. So you must play your own part. I'm not saying government is totally, unblameable. No, I'm not saying that. But as a citizen, you must play your part. That is why we are stepping out. This is not a lucrative business. We are doing it to save jobs here because a lot of billions of dollars are leaving my country through the hands of the foreign airlines. This is the time to save the dollar. Save the Naira.
Okay, Dr. Allen, if I can come in here. You have spoken about the saving the Naira. And with the commencement of Airpeace's Lagos to London flights, I want to know how you plan to ensure that these flights remain accessible and affordable for these students, especially with the challenges of foreign exchange fluctuations and currency depreciation in maintaining competitive fares in the Lagos-London route. What specific measures has Airpeace taken to offer, these competitive and affordable fares on this route, especially with the backdrop of the significant rise in airfares over the past 2 years? And as my colleague wanted to rightfully ask, what the return time is from London back into Nigeria. You've spoken about the departure from Gatwick back into Nigeria. You've spoken about takeoff time, which is 12:30 a.m.
Yeah, the departure back from Gatwick, let me start from your last question. The departure back from Gatwick will be in the morning from London, somewhere around 11 o'clock in the morning. I forgot to tell you that when they were giving us slots, at the time they were even giving us 1 hour turnaround. How could you turn around a jumbo jet of that magnitude that carries over 360 people in 1 hour? To even fuel a 777, you might even spend up to an hour. To disembark the passengers, that might take another hour. To clean that aircraft, that might take another hour. Yet, they gave us only 1 hour turnaround. These are the things they try to do to us. Now, we've sorted that out. So, when we land London at about 6:30 a.m. or thereabout, the takeoff time back to Nigeria, departure out of Gatwick into Nigeria is around 11. So, having said that, about the student fares, why did I do it in the first place? I've been disturbed massively about the brain drain out of this country. We are losing our youthful ones to the outside world. A diplomat once told me, a foreign diplomat, that the Nigerian state doesn't know what it's losing, allowing this brain drain. They've got to do something to keep their people home. That, in fact, the diplomat told me that it would take about 25 to 30 million naira to raise a kid up to the university level. And at the end of the day, you lose it to the foreign country. They go out there and contribute. How do I make them to come back home? A lot of these people who are in the UK, studying abroad, UK, Canada, US, and all, it's not that their parents are wealthy, but when you look at the incessant strikes that occur in my country, where your child will go to school, doesn't even know when it's going to come out. How about courtism in schools? So a lot of parents, they will sell their houses, sell everything they've got to take their children abroad, to give them education. Education is very key in every society. So they got there because they don't have the funds to afford to be coming home for holidays. They remain there for 4 or 5 years of schooling. At the end of the day, they get acclimatized. They become westernized. To come back to Nigeria becomes a problem because they've lost touch with homeland. This is the problem, and we are losing them in droves. Have you thought of what will happen to this country in the next 40 years? This population you're talking about will be depleted. What will be left here will be old men. So I decided that this is the time. My own children went to school in the UK, yes. Thank God, I bless God, because I could afford it. I made sure they were coming home, even if it's every 5 days. They never experienced UK. I made sure they came back to homeland to love this country. My children are all here now in Nigeria. If you tell them to go to the UK, they just, maybe their friends invite them to, and they love it here. They want to stay here. But you might accuse me and say, oh, it's because you have money. No, it's because I was making them to come home every holiday. The same thing I want to afford other indigent students. Because I used to hear from my daughter, and then, my friends, they couldn't go home. Can you help give me money to give them to buy tickets? So this time around, I have an airline that could do it. I decided that Nigerians must start coming home. The students, we are going to put measures in place to make sure that this particular subsidy sort of is not abused. I want to do it for my nation. I love this country. These children must come home. They would like to come home. By the time they continue coming home frequently, when they finish, they want to come here to help to develop the country. This is the idea behind it all. It's all about patriotism.
Thank you, sir. So I want to ask about your airline and its services, because your airline, along with other airlines in Nigeria, has been accused of incessant multiple delays and cancellation of flights. Now, can you share with us some of the reasons for these delays and why these delays and cancellations seem to not abate, and what you're doing about them? What are the challenges that the airline industry is facing in Nigeria? Because you've spoken earlier about people using international carriers instead of Nigerian carriers. So should they expect different from Airpeace going to London than they would from Airpeace going, let's say, the Lagos-Abuja route, where there are delays and cancellations? How are you going to cope with the challenges that you're facing?
If you know the reasons behind delays, in fact, the ICAO stated reasons for delays are about 99. Only 4 of them are attributed to the airlines. 95% of them are not connected with the airline, the fault of the airline. So the truth is, we fail in this country to do things the right way, and we blame the innocent airlines. Now, let me tell you why delays and cancellations will persist in this country. And if you know the reason why it's happening, you will be shocked. Let no airline deceive you. No matter how hard you try, every day you must experience delays and cancellations, as long as we don't do things rightly in this country. Number one, apart from safety, apart from weather and other issues, unruly passenger behavior, a misunderstanding of how airline scheduled operations are supposed to be run. The annoying thing is that even government officials don't even know better. Even some people in the aviation agencies don't even know better. And you begin to wonder. We call it scheduled operations. When weather is the cause of the delay or leads to cancellation at the end of the day, it is not the business of the airline to fly you the next morning first thing. No. All over the world, the convention is, aviation is the same worldwide. The convention is, the passenger is expected to reschedule to the next available date. That's how it's done. In Nigeria, you want to fly and you have 3 hours delay because of weather, and the time weather clears, you want to go in and there's airport closure because most of the airports don't run at night. And the passengers will tell you, oh, you put us in hotel, we'll be the first ones you fly in the morning. It is not done like that. You reschedule to the next available date because it's called scheduled flight operations. So what happens that in Nigeria, in the morning, those ones that couldn't fly the previous day, they will be the first people you're going to fly. When you do this, you've disrupted the schedule of that morning. Each aircraft does about 6 to 8 flights daily. So if it's only one disruption, you're talking about massive 8 flights disrupted for that day. I'll give you an example. The other day we were flying into Warri. We couldn't land because of weather. The pilot hovered for about 15 minutes. For safety, he diverted to Enugu because Benin was also covered by bad weather. They stayed there on ground in Enugu for about an hour or 2. Then the weather cleared. They fueled the aircraft again. For them to take off to go to Warri, the Warri airport closed because it was a sunset airport. It is a sunset airport. The airport shut down. The pilot announced to the passengers, well, weather caused this incident. The Warri airport has shut down. We now have to take you back to Abuja. Pandemonium everywhere. And Nigerians do this, and they can't even do it in Cotonou. They dare not. And you see people that have traveled far and wide misbehaving. They got the aircraft down. It was a Caribbean captain. The man was almost crying. They kept that aircraft on ground Enugu for 4 hours. Are you going to force the captain to fly into an aerodrome that has already been shut down? Who was going to guide him to come in? Okay, they said they should put them in hotel in Enugu. Why should I put a hotel in Enugu? Did I create weather? Did I create the airport? That was a force majeure. We have elected to take you back to your base in Abuja. They refused. They kept the aircraft there for 4 hours. And remember, that aircraft had 4 other flights to do that evening to other places like Kano, Port Harcourt, Lagos, and others. Those people in those airports would not know that it was Warri passengers that kept that aircraft in Enugu that were causing their delays and cancellations. We ended up cancelling 4 flights that evening. And everywhere, social media, oh, Airpeace has killed us. Airpeace, they didn't know it was caused by passengers. Finally, I invited the Air Force. The Air Force came in and orderliness was restored. The plane went back to Abuja. The same people that caused this problem, you must fly them first thing in the morning before you start any other flight. Those other 4 flights canceled that night. We needed to start with them in the morning. So we had 5 flights. The airline will start with a baggage of the previous day. It is never done like that anywhere in the world. That means that morning you are doing 8 flights per aircraft. Those 5 aircraft you're going to bring in, you're going to cancel, you're going to disrupt 40 flights that day. It goes on like that for the next 2 weeks because you can never recover. You will never be able to recover. Given into the situation that your airports most of your airports by 6 o'clock they close. So you will not ever be able to recover. You have more cancellations. It will only ease off after 2 weeks. God save you. If within those 2 weeks they don't cause another problem for you, it continues. Unless and until only Nigeria decides to practice aviation the way it's practiced worldwide, we will never see airlines in Nigeria not posting delays. People don't know this. I went to the NCA. I told them, I said, I'm ready to fund it. Fund passenger education. I've told them this several times for several years now when I discovered. Because no airline wants to post delays. Once you delay you're losing money. It's not in favor of the airline. We went to them. Passenger education, I even volunteered to fund it. But let it come from the authorities. If the airline is saying it, they will say, oh, the airline is trying to, launder its image. No. I've flown from Miami to Atlanta, 20 minutes to landing. They said there was storm in Atlanta. The aircraft diverted to South Carolina, Charlestown, 10 a.m. in the morning. We got down. The pilot announced that, his duty time was over, that we should take our hand luggage and sit in the lounge until they get another set of pilots to fly them. 20 minutes down the line, the storm in Atlanta cleared. They started announcing, the same Delta Airlines started announcing flights to Atlanta, flight after flight. Nobody stood up to go and barricade doors that, oh, we are here, we'll be it's only in Nigeria you see people going to barricade a moving aircraft. One of these days to suck them in.
All right, Dr. Onyema.
We have to be civil in this country.
All right, Dr. Onyema. Well, what you have just described sounds like mayhem in the aviation sector. I mean, I hope that the Minister of Aviation is listening because, I mean, I don't even know how you are coping at this point. And your airline and other Nigerian airlines have also been accused in the past of lacking capacity to serve the nation, and hence the call for the national carrier. Now, if this is true, why have the airlines not achieved the necessary capacity? And do you think that Nigerian airlines have been adequately supported by the Nigerian government?
Well, I take your last question. Adequately supported by the Nigerian government? Zero. No, never. The Nigerian airlines have never been adequately supported by any government in this country. And that is the truth. You see, we look at aviation. We should understand that aviation is a catalyst that will move this economy. Every country tries to invest not only on the airlines, but aviation infrastructure too. It's very, very important. We lack that support. Is it financing? You borrow money at 30%, from between 26 to 30%. These other airlines are trying to compare to Nigerian airlines. They borrow money at 2%, 3%. In Nigeria, we borrow at 6%, and we are faced with multiple charges in this country. It's one of the worst places to do aviation. Very hostile, roundly hostile. So for us to say that government is government supporting, first of all, they have to remove some of these charges. First of all, you pay NCA 5% from 5% charge on whatever fare you raise. Some of the airports are taking about 8,000 per passenger for you to land. So many charges. So if an airline is charging 100,000, at the end of the day, what comes to the airline might be maybe 20,000 naira. That's where you use to do your insurance. Insurance is what I use in insuring one aircraft is what British Airways and others, we use in insuring about 8 other planes. Yet, they expect you to perform magic. And issues about capacity. It is not true that we don't have capacity. It is also equally true that we don't have capacity. When you look at it this way, two airlines are the same. We have varying capacities. It depends on how you want to play. An airline can decide that what I want to be doing is Lagos, Abuja only operation. If that airline has about 2 aircraft, that is enough capacity. He doesn't want to go beyond that. All these issues about lacking capacity, they use it because they want to justify certain tendencies, nothing more. If you talk about capacity, let me take my own airline, for instance. Airpeace is the launch customer in the whole of Africa for the latest technology, E2195, fantastic aircraft. No other African nation has keyed into it. And we ordered 13 of them, with 17 others on purchase rights. We're talking about 30 planes, brand new. The MAX 8 and MAX 10, we ordered 15. We paid for. These planes are going to come in. You're talking about, and again, we ordered recently 5 E175s, original. So when you look at the total orders, about 33 brand new planes coming in. The E2195 have started coming in. We have 5 already here. Boeing has been coming, discussing, even 2 days ago, Boeing was in my office discussing the entry into service of the MAX, brand new MAX. We are bringing to be doing European shuttles. So they can't accuse us of not having capacity. What we lack is government support. What we lack is government support over time. Maybe this government is trying, like the minister came out to follow us to UK to get things right. That is support. The minister went to Saudi Arabia for the BASA and stood his ground that certain things shouldn't be done. That is support. But we need more. A situation where foreign airlines are coming into this country, land from for example, let me say it, Qatar comes from Doha, lands in Abuja, drops passengers in Abuja, goes to Port Harcourt, drops passengers in Port Harcourt, comes back to Abuja, pick passengers from Abuja again before going back to their country. President Tinubu should know that his country is being fleeced. That is the truth. No country in the world allows that. Not even the mighty America, with all their economic might and their might in aviation, would allow you to do city hopping. Then a poor country like Nigeria is allowing foreign tendencies to ravage our reserves. And we are asking, where are the dollars going? These things are putting pressures on the dollars. The foreign airlines are giving multiple frequencies into your country. They are giving multiple destinations into your country. We are not even quarreling with multiple destinations. If they like, give them 10 destinations. Fly to Akure, fly to Ibadan, fly to Kwale, fly to anywhere. Let them fly from their country to that destination direct and leave from that place back to their country if they feel they want to do something. Or when you tell them, the ministers will tell you, oh, that's what the people, because politicians, they want everything to. We cannot continue to bleed the country. We cannot continue to bleed the country just to please certain tendencies of political, expediency. No. Hell no. We fly India. Airpeace flies to India. We fly to Bombay. We applied to get New Delhi, to join it. India refused. They said, when you land in Delhi, when you land in Bombay, get an Indian airline to take your passengers to Delhi. They refused. In America, if you go with ordinary private jet, maybe you're going to Atlanta. The private jet might not have the endurance of 13 hours to go to Atlanta, but you could go to New York of 9 hours. When you land in New York just to refuel, you take that private jet from New York to Atlanta. You are not allowed to move with that jet inside America any longer. You have to look for another airline to patronize because they want you to spend your money in their country. And when you want to go back, you go the same route that you came into America. You're not allowed to do that. The one of commercial aviation, flight schedule operations, that one is a no-no. You cannot drop here, then go to that place in America. You never. Not even in Britain. Nowhere in the world. Nigerian government officials will go and sign BASAs that are killing their own country. And they blame Nigerian Airlines. The money the Nigerian Airlines would have made through picking the passengers they drop in the destinations.
Sounds like we need more aviators in government. Thank you so much, sir.